The scene opens on the vibrant, chaotic world of rural India. The rhythmic chugging of a train fills the air. On the silver screen of life, some stories begin not with a fairy tale, but with the harsh clang of reality. This is the story of Saroo, a little boy with a spirit as bright as the sun, whose world was as vast as the railway tracks he called his playground. For Saroo and Gudu, survival was a daily heist. Poverty had a tight grip on their lives, forcing them to steal coal just to earn a meager living. They were a team, these two brothers, partners in a crime born of desperation. The boys carry their heavy load to a bustling marketplace. The air is thick with the aroma of spices and sizzling sweets. At a small stall, a vendor is frying golden, syrupy jalebis. Their bounty of coal was traded for a precious little milk, but it was the sight of glistening jalebis that truly captured Saroo's heart. His eyes widened, his small stomach rumbling with a desire he couldn't contain. "Gudu," Saroo pleaded, his voice a hopeful whisper, "I want a jalebi." Gudu looked at his younger brother, his heart aching with a love that was fierce and protective. A sad smile touched his lips. "One day, Saroo," he promised, his voice filled with a determination that belied their circumstances. "One day I will buy you all the jalebis in this shop." Saroo's face lit up with an innocent, unwavering faith in his brother's words. The brothers joyfully made their way home, the small container of milk sloshing between them. They greeted their mother and younger sister, their smiles a shield against the unspoken questions about where the milk came from. That night, as darkness fell, a familiar tension filled their small home. Gudu was preparing for a night of hard labor. "I'm coming with you," Saroo declared, his small frame puffing out with determination. "No, Saroo," Gudu said gently but firmly. "The work is hard. You have to carry heavy sacks. You're too little." To prove his strength, Saroo hoisted a small wooden chair above his head, wobbling but triumphant. He then tried with all his might to lift a bicycle, his face contorted with effort. "See, I can do anything," he insisted. Gudu couldn't help but smile at his brother's stubborn spirit. Reluctantly, he agreed. They arrived at a deserted train station, the silence of the night broken only by the distant whistle of a train. Saroo, exhausted from the day's adventures, drifts off to sleep in his brother's lap. Gudu's heart swelled with a protective love as he looked at his sleeping brother. He gently shook Saroo, but the little boy was lost to the world of dreams. "Let me sleep," Saroo mumbled, burrowing deeper into his brother's warmth. With a heavy heart, Gudu carefully laid Saroo down on an empty bench. "I have to go work now," he whispered, his voice thick with emotion. "I'll be back in the morning. You stay right here, okay?" As Gudu turned to leave, Saroo's sleepy voice called out, a final, hopeful request. "Bring me jalebis when you come back." Gudu smiled. "Okay." 2,000 jalebis, Saroo murmured, a dreamy smile on his face. Gudu disappears into the darkness, leaving Saroo alone on the desolate platform. The night grows deeper, the station eerily silent and empty. But morning would not bring Gudu back. As the hours ticked by, Saroo woke up, a small, solitary figure in a vast, lonely world. Confused and a little scared, he stood on the platform, his eyes searching for his brother. He saw an empty train, its doors beckoning like a dark, silent mouth. Hoping to find Gudu, Saroo climbed on board. The gentle rocking of the train soon lulled him back into a deep, unsuspecting sleep, carrying him further and further away from everything he had ever known.
He awoke, not to the familiar stillness of his home, but to the violent lurch and deafening roar of a moving train. A cold, sharp panic pierced through the fog of sleep. Where was he? Where was his brother? He scrambled to his feet, his small body thrown off balance by the carriage's rocking motion. "Gudu!" he screamed, his brother's name swallowed by the thunder of the wheels. He ran frantically from one end of the empty car to the other, his small fists beating against the heavy, unyielding doors. They were locked tight. He was a prisoner on this iron beast, hurtling into the unknown. The journey was a long, terrifying blur of darkness and fleeting light. Days bled into one another, marked only by the gnawing hunger in his belly. Finally, with a great, shuddering sigh of steam, the train ground to a halt. When the doors were finally unbolted, Saroo stumbled out into a world of chaos. Kolkata, a sprawling, monstrous city 1,600 kilometers from his home in Khandwa. A river of people swarmed the platform, their faces a blur, their voices a cacophony of a strange tongue. He fought his way to the ticket counter, his own voice barely a whisper. "I have to go home," he pleaded. But the words that came back were a cascade of harsh, unfamiliar sounds. Bengali. No one understood him. Exhausted and defeated, he found a small patch of floor among other lost children, their eyes reflecting the same weary emptiness as his own. But even this small comfort was stolen when shadowy figures emerged from the crowd, luring the other children away with promises that felt like threats. A primal fear seized Saroo. He bolted, diving into the labyrinthine streets, his heart hammering against his ribs as night fell, swallowing the city in darkness. He was utterly, terrifyingly alone. The hunger was a living thing now, twisting his insides. Then, through the gloom, his desperate gaze fell on the serene idol of the goddess. He bowed his head, a silent prayer on his lips, and found an offering of prasad at her feet. He ate the sacred food with trembling hands, a moment of grace in his despair. The next morning, driven by the single, desperate hope of finding his way back, Saroo began walking along the train tracks. Surely, he thought, they must lead home. It was there that a kind-faced woman named Noor found him. "Where is your home, little one?" she asked gently. "Ganesh Tail," he whispered, the name of his tiny, unheard-of village. Moved with pity, Noor took him to her house and gave him a warm meal that felt like a miracle. "Rest now," she soothed. "A man will come tomorrow. He will help you find your mother." The next morning, a man named Rama arrived, but his smile never reached his eyes. He looked Saroo over, not with kindness, but with a chilling, calculating gaze that made the boy's skin crawl. Turning to Noor, the man said in a low voice, just loud enough for Saroo to hear, "You've done well. He's exactly the kind of boy I've been looking for." Cold dread washed over Saroo. This wasn't help. It was a trap. Instinct screamed at him to flee. Seizing his chance, he darted out of the house and ran, his bare feet slapping against the dirt, not daring to look back. For countless days that followed, the immense shadows of the Hira Bridge became his only shelter. His thoughts were consumed by memories of his mother. He could see her so clearly, her strong, tired hands breaking stones at the quarry, her loving smile his greatest reward. A sharp, painful ache filled his chest. He loved his mother with all his heart, but she was now 1,600 kilometers away, an impossible distance for a small lost boy in a world that had forgotten him.
Saroo, a young boy, finds himself utterly alone and adrift in a new place. For 2 long months, he wanders the streets, a small, lost figure in a bustling world. When the morning rain begins to fall, he seeks shelter outside a cafe, his eyes mirroring the gray, weeping sky. Inside, another boy sits warmly, sipping coffee. From his spot in the rain, Saroo mimics the boy's every move, a silent, desperate attempt at connection. The boy in the cafe notices and, moved with pity, comes out to give Saroo something to eat. Taking him by the hand, the kind stranger leads Saroo to the police station. "This boy," he explains to the officers, "he doesn't speak Bengali. He speaks Hindi." When the police gently question Saroo about his home, he tearfully whispers a single, hopeful word, Ganesh Talai. But the name means nothing to them. It is a tiny, unknown village tucked away in the vastness of Madhya Pradesh. The boy, his heart aching for his family, cannot even tell them his mother's name, only the loving title he knows her by, Ami. The police try everything they can to find his parents, their efforts a frustrating dead end. With no leads and no family to be found, they have no choice but to send him to an orphanage, another place full of lost children. Saroo spends 3 lonely months in the orphanage, the world outside continuing on without him. Then, a kind woman named Mrs. Sood comes to see him. With a gentle voice, she tells him, "I've been searching for your family for 3 months, Saroo. We even put an advertisement in a newspaper read by 150 million people every day." Her eyes fill with sadness as she admits, but it was no use. "My home is far from here," Saroo says, his voice trembling as he speaks of his longing for his mother and his brother, Guru. "We looked everywhere," Mrs. Sood says softly, her heart breaking for the little boy in front of her. There's no use in waiting any longer. There's a wonderful Australian couple who wants to adopt you. They're very kind people. You will be very happy with them, but you will have to go to Australia. Mrs. Sue then brings Saroo to her own home, a place filled with the laughter and chatter of other children. There, she patiently teaches them English, preparing them for new lives in new lands. Soon, the day comes for Saroo to be sent to Australia. His new parents, John and Sue, welcome him with open arms, their faces shining with happiness. They bring him to their house, a house so large and grand that Saroo, who has only ever known a small, humble home, can only stare in wide-eyed wonder. But amidst the awe, a profound sense of dislocation washes over him. The very air he breathes, the ground beneath his feet, everything is alien and new. Sensing his silent turmoil, his new mother Sue sits with him. In gentle English, she says, "I know your journey hasn't been easy. You don't have to tell me anything right now." Her words are a soft blanket of comfort, a promise of patience and understanding in this strange new world.
But one day, you will tell me everything. Saroo slowly begins to learn their language and their way of life. Very soon, he becomes comfortable with all of them. Mr. John and his wife Sue love Saroo like their daughter. They do not let any kind of deficiency in his life. After a year, they adopt another child. He cannot adjust with them. He starts harming himself. But Mr. John and his wife try to control this child because they want to help him. That night, Mrs. Sue is crying. Saroo goes to him and wipes his tears and hugs him. That means now he has completely accepted him as his mother. Slowly, time passes and 20 years pass. Saroo has grown up now. Mr. John and his wife, who are Saroo's parents, they are proud of Saroo. He goes to Melbourne to study hotel management. He meets his brother, who was adopted by Mr. and Mrs. John after Saroo, but they do not like each other. Saroo now reaches the introductory class of hotel management, where everyone tells about themselves. Saroo says that he wants to open his hotel. He also tells that he is from Kolkata in India. After this, all the students here have a house party, where Saroo also goes. There are a lot of Indian students here. That's why there is a lot of Indian food here. And when Saroo sees jalebi there, he remembers his childhood, when he asked his brother Gudu to eat jalebi. And in response, his brother Gudu said that he will definitely feed him jalebi. Saroo said that one day he will buy all the jalebi. Whenever Saroo remembers Lama, tears come to his eyes, and he tells his friends that he is not from Calcutta. He is from somewhere else. He was lost in his childhood. He sat in a train, and when the train stopped, he reached Calcutta. Here a boy asks him how long he was in the train. Saroo says 2-3 days. That boy asks the name of his village. Saroo says Ganesh Tale. But Saroo does not even know if he is able to pronounce the name of his village well or not, because he does not know to speak Hindi. He can only speak English now. Here a boy tells him that from Havra Bridge in Calcutta, where you reached in childhood, if we calculate the time and speed of the train from there, and if we go back, then we can reach in the radius of your village. Here a girl tells him about Google Earth. She says that with the help of Google Earth, you can find any place in the world. But Saroo refuses to talk more about this. After this, they leave the party. There's also a girl with Saroo whose name is Lucy. Both of them are attracted to each other. That's why at night they get very close to each other. The next morning when Saroo wakes up, he remembers his parents, his home, his village. He realizes that after losing him, his mother, brother, sister must have been so worried about him. That's why through Google Earth application, at the same time by calculating the distance from the station to his home, in every way he tries to find his village, Ganesh Tale. But all his efforts go in vain. Time passes slowly and 3 years pass. Lucy and Saroo's relationship has become even deeper. Both of them love each other very much. But Saroo is still worried about his family. He often sees his brother's picture. He realizes that his brother is telling him that he should go home. Saroo is so lost in looking for him in the memories of his family that slowly he separates from Lucy. He tells Lucy that you deserve a better person than me. Lucy and Saroo separate. After many months, when Saroo sees Lucy on the escalator one day, then he talks to her. He tells Lucy that he misses her a lot. After this, they get very close to each other again. Lucy tells Saroo that you should go to your mother. She needs you. Saroo goes to his mother, who is sick. Saroo always thought that his mother adopted him because she could never be a mother. Day after day, she tells Saroo that I could have been a mother,
But me and your dad, John, decided that we will adopt 2 children, because there are many children in this world who need a parent's family. She also tells Saroo about her childhood experience. She says that my dad used to drink a lot of alcohol. He was not a good person. I was always scared. And one day, when I went behind my house, I wanted the earth to swallow me. Then I saw a child on the other side of the field whose skin was brown, and that child was standing next to me. At that moment, I realized that everything will be fine in my life. Then you and your brother came into my life. But now you don't talk to me. I need you. Saroo realizes that she should support her mother. And he also wants to find his biological mother. He wants to find his brother. So once again, he tries to find his village on Google Earth. And when he zooms into different parts of India, then he finds a place where his mother used to break stones. Then he slowly searches the whole area around, and he finds his village, which is called Ganesh Tale. He finds out that his village is in the Khandwa district of Madhya Pradesh. He is very happy about this. He also tells this to Lucy and his mother. His mother is also very happy for him, because his mother and father want him to go to India and meet his family. Saroo now comes to India, and he reaches the place where he spent his childhood. He slowly reaches the house where he used to live with his mother, brother, and sister. But now there is no one in this house. He also tries to ask the neighbors, but no one understands his language, and neither can he understand Hindi now. Then a man comes there who knows English. He tells him the name of his brother and sister. He asks him where his family used to live. But that man does not answer him. He goes away from there. But after a few moments, he comes back, and he points to Saroo. When Saroo goes that way, he sees an old woman coming from the front. And this woman is none other than in whose lap Saroo had spent his childhood. This is his biological mother. He hugs her and cries a lot. Saroo's mother had never left this village, because she was sure that one day her son would come back. Saroo's sister is also here. He hugs his sister, but Saroo cannot meet his brother. He finds out that the night he went to work with his brother, but Saroo was sleepy. That's why his brother put him to sleep on the bench. And when his brother was leaving, Saroo told his brother to bring jalebi in the morning. That night, his brother died in a train accident. That means a mother lost both her sons in one night. But she had faith in God. For so many years, she waited for her younger son, Saroo. And today, after 25 years, her son has come back. After this, Saroo calls his mom and dad in Australia. He tells them that he has found his family. But this does not change anything. Even today, you are the same for me as you were before. You are my mom and dad. After this, Saroo goes to all the places where he used to play with his brother, and going to these places, he remembers his childhood, when he used to walk with his brother on these roads. Saroo finds out one more thing here, that his name is not Saroo, but it is Shiru, which means lion. At the end, we are shown some real footage, in which Saroo's parents, who adopted him, come to India. In India, Saroo's biological mom hugs him. So this was the true story of Saroo. According to official reports, 80,000 children disappear from India every year. But even 1% of the children are not like this, whose fate is like Saroo. That's why the hero of this film is none other than Mr. John and his wife Sue, who could have given birth to their own children, but they decided not to give birth to their children. They will adopt those children who do not have a home, so that they can get a good home. If everyone in this world thinks like this, then this world becomes heaven. So this was the whole story of the film Lion. This film was released in 2016. Its rating on IMDb is 8. The budget of this film was $12 million, and it earned $141 million at the box office. We hope you liked this story.